Bonjour, it's Jennifer, your French teacher in the south of France, and today I am going to teach you how to talk about the future, things that are going to happen in the future. Do you already know a way to do that? Do you already know how to speak about the future? What's one way to do it? Well, one way to do it is using aller plus an infinitive, and that's something that we can learn as a beginner French student. And do you use that a lot? Even though you're not a beginner anymore, because I know that a lot of people do. This is not a lesson on le futur proche. This is a lesson on le futur simple. Le futur simple. So you may think, oh, why is it called simple? Is it really simple? That's not why it's called simple, although it's not hard. You'll see, there is some work involved. You're going to have to memorize some things. I'll tell you everything you need to know. But it's called simple because this future tense is one single word, okay? Like the futur proche, you have two words involved. Do you remember le futur proche? Here's what I'm talking about. When you say, for example, je vais finir mes devoirs avant minuit. Je vais finir. It takes vais and finir to make reference to the future. Whereas with the futur simple, what I'm going to show you is that it only takes one word. So let's get back to this futur proche. Okay, a lot of people do tell me, Jennifer, it's just, I'm just trying to get the words out of my mouth when I'm trying to speak French. It's already hard enough. And the futur proche, it's just easier for me. Look, if you're a beginner, that's fine. That's great. And there is a time and a place for the futur proche. I'm going to show you that. But if you kind of have been studying French for a little while, you can up your game a bit because French people use the futur simple a whole lot. Let's look again at this futur proche. Okay, I just read you this example, and many times it's true that the futur proche and the futur simple can be interchangeable. Okay, the main difference and what you have to remember is that the futur proche is literally translated I am going to do something. In my example at the top, I am going to finish. Je vais finir. Whereas the futur simple means I will do something. So, right, remember, sometimes they are interchangeable, but sometimes they're not. So I'm going to show you some examples where you'll see what I'm talking about. In the futur simple, the futur proche, when you say you're going to do something, it's very deliberate. Like, I am going to make a cup of tea. Je vais faire une tasse de thé, right? But if I say something like, when I'm 40 years old, I'll be rich, can you see there's a little uncertainty there, okay? Quand j'aurai 40 ans, je serai riche. Well, maybe you'll be rich, maybe you won't, but you need to use the futur simple because you can't say that sentence. You can't say that sentence using the futur proche. When I'm 40, I am going to be rich. How do you know? You need the futur simple. I will be rich. Okay? So look again at these examples. Here's another one down at the bottom. Quand tu auras 18 ans, tu pourras conduire. So the idea is that whoever you're speaking to is not 18 yet, right? So when you can tell that person when you're 18, you'll be able to drive. But who knows what's going to happen between now and then? Maybe when that person's 18, they won't be able to drive. So it's more uncertain than the near future. Okay, so here is the first thing. So I told you guys in the beginning that the futur simple it's not hard to form. In fact, it's one of the easiest verb tenses in French to form. And I'll tell you why. Because by now, if you've learned any other tenses, very often you begin with what I like to call as the stem. You start off with something, and then you have to add some endings to it. D'accord? The present tense doesn't necessarily work like that, but other tenses do. So a lot of times you have to figure out, like for the imperfect tense, oh, how do I find my stem? But for the future tense, for the futur simple, let me show you. Finding the stem is really easy for regular verbs. All you have to do is use the full infinitive for regular verbs, and then you have your stem. You're going to add endings to that stem. But first, let's look at this. Verbs that end in ER, regular ones, you use the full verb, parler. Verbs that end in IR, full verb, finir. Verbs that end in RE, you're going to use the full infinitive. However, you do need to take the E off to find your stem. All right, so when I'm talking about finding stems and everything, then you have to add endings to them. Well, here's what I mean. Here are the futur simple endings. So you start with your subject, je. You add your stem. Now remember, for a verb like parler, your stem is the whole verb, parler. And then you're going to add your ending, which for je is ai. Now have a look at this. For je, ai. Tu, es. Il, elle, on, est. Nous, ons. Vous, ez. And il and elle plural, ont. Does that look familiar at all? Have you seen another verb that looks a whole lot like those endings? Well, here's a little trick, and it will help you remember. When I was learning French, my teachers always told me, use the avoir endings for the futur simple. Yeah, so the avoir endings, this j'ai, tu as, il a, on a, nous avons, vous avez, ils ont, elles ont, that's your present tense conjugation of the verb avoir. And look over at the right. You can see all of those used as the endings in the futur simple. So let's read through these together, okay? Je parlerai, tu parleras, il parlera. Let's stop there for a minute. Do you hear me? I'm not saying parla. I'm not doing that. I have to get the ER sound in there. Je parlerai. Tu parleras. Il parlera. Elle parlera. On parlera. Nous parlerons. Vous parlerez. Ils parleront. Elles parleront. You see how that works? Now look, if you're using an IR verb like finir, it works the same way. Okay, you just add those endings. Make sure you pronounce the R. Je finirai. Tu finiras. Il finira. Elle finira. On finira. Nous finirons. Vous finirez. Ils finiront. Elles finiront. Okay? And then finally you have regular RE verbs. Remember I said you have to take the E off of the infinitive to find your stem. So let's go through this pronunciation, the pronunciation of the verb attendre. J'attendrai. Tu attendras. Il attendra. Elle attendra. On attendra. Nous attendrons. Vous attendrez. Ils attendront. Elles attendront. D'accord? Okay, so that's how it works for verbs that have regular stems, and most of them do. Of course, I have to show you the ones that don't have regular stems, and this is where I said that it's going to require a bit of work on your end. It's not hard, but you're going to have some memorizing to do. First thing you have to memorize are those endings, but you already know the verb avoir, so just remember to use the avoir endings. But look at this. Okay, I'm going to show you 18 common verbs with irregular stems. Now, if you'd like a list of this, just follow the link down in the video description below, and you can hop over to my website and download your list, where I'll also have the English translations of all of these verbs. But you can see that there's some of the most common ones. Look, you have aller, avoir, some that you're not going to use all the time, like courir, but you have devoir, envoyer, être, faire, falloir. Do you know what falloir is? Falloir is when you say il faut. You know that. Il faut, it is necessary, but sometimes, you very rarely see falloir in the full infinitive. Now remember, this is an irregular stem, so we're not going to use the full infinitive for the futur simple. We're going to use F-A-U-D-R. And I'll show that to you again here in just a minute. But another thing just to keep in mind about the verb falloir is that it's only used with il, I-L. Now, ever, never, ever with anything else. So anytime you want to say it will be necessary, you're going to use your stem, F-A-U-D-R, with the ending for il, which is an A. So it becomes il faudra. Il faudra. D'accord? Okay, let's get back to our little list. You also have the verb mourir, which I misspelled, and I don't like that, but anyway, M-O-U-R-I-R. I'll go fix it on my website, but anyway, there's M-O-U-R-I-R. Okay, but the stem does have two R's. Okay, obtenir, pleuvoir. Now, pleuvoir means to rain, and it's a lot like falloir, right? You only use it in the il form. So if you want to say, "Ooh, it will rain next week," il pleuvra. Okay? Actually, here's a good example. Let me come back and look at you. I just said it will rain next week. But we would probably say it's going to rain next week, wouldn't we? There is an opportunity where you can use the futur proche. Il va pleuvoir la semaine prochaine. Could I also say il pleuvra la semaine prochaine? Oui. It's a little uncertain, but it's close enough that we've had a look at the weather report and we're fairly certain it is going to rain. So remember, sometimes they are interchangeable. Okay, so you also have pouvoir. Now you notice we had devoir over there on the left. Now we have pouvoir, and all the way at the bottom of this list we have vouloir. Those are our power verbs, okay? So they're all irregular. Recevoir, savoir, tenir, venir, voir. D'accord? So these are the ones you're going to have to learn. Now what I would like to do is go through a little exercise with you. And if you want to, you can, if you're already helping me out over on Patreon, you can go over there and download your lesson guide that goes along with this particular video lesson, and you can take notes, and there you have space to write your answers as we go through the next set of exercises. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look in the video description for Patreon and click on it, and you can see how to get your lesson guide. Okay, but be ready to write and put me on pause if you need time to do that, because I'm also going to show you the answers after each set. Okay, so what we're doing, and you'll see in my course that I've created for the verb, for the futur simple, a lot of times we're moving from the futur proche to the futur simple. Okay, so in this case, je vais étudier le français. Je vais étudier le français means I am going to study French. And what I want you to do is put this into the futur simple. Now, I've helped you out by underlining the main verbs, the infinitives in each of these, because some people get confused when moving from the futur proche to the futur simple, and they want to put the verb aller in the future. No, that's not what we're doing. Okay, you have to put the verb for the first one, étudier, in the futur simple. So go ahead and write it on the line in your lesson guide. Tu vas travailler en France. Tu vas travailler en France. You are going to work in France. We'll change to you will work in France. Il va manger des spaghettis. Il va manger des spaghettis. He is going to eat spaghetti. We're going to change it to he will eat spaghetti. Okay, spoiler alert, here come the answers. You can repeat them after me. J'étudierai le français. J'étudierai le français. Tu travailleras en France. Tu travailleras en France. Il mangera des spaghettis. Il mangera des spaghettis. Okay, here's your second set. Get ready to write. Elle va parler anglais. Elle va parler anglais. She is going to speak English We want to change it to she will speak English. On va danser ce soir. On va danser ce soir. We are going to dance this evening. We want to change it to we will dance this evening. Nous allons cuisiner ensemble. Nous allons cuisiner ensemble. We are going to cook together. We'll change it to we will cook together. Okay, here come the answers. Again, repeat them after me. Elle parlera anglais. Elle parlera anglais. Make sure you get the R sound in there. It's subtle, but it's heard slightly, okay? On dansera ce soir. On dansera ce soir. Nous cuisinerons ensemble. Nous cuisinerons ensemble. Très bien. So just talking about that R, that's subtle, it's very important. And I know that in the beginning it's hard to not sort of exaggerate that R. So in the beginning, if you say, je parlerai, and you have to say it real slow, that's better than leaving the R out. Je parlerai. Je parlerai. If you say, je parlais, it sounds like you're saying the imperfect, which is in the past, and that's not what we want to do. Okay, so let's get to the next set. Get your lesson guide out and get ready to write. Vous allez dîner au restaurant. Vous allez dîner au restaurant. You are going to have dinner at the restaurant. We want to change it to you will have dinner at the restaurant. Okay? Ils vont jouer à cache-cache. Ils vont jouer à cache-cache. You know what cache-cache is? It's hide and seek. So they're going to play hide and seek. You want to say they will play hide and seek. Elles vont voyager en Europe. Elles vont voyager en Europe. Yes, they're going to travel in Europe, or it could mean they're going to travel to Europe. Yeah? You want to say they will travel to Europe. In the futur simple. Okay, here are the answers. Répétez après moi. Vous dînerez au restaurant. Vous dînerez au restaurant. Ils joueront à cache-cache. Ils joueront à cache-cache. Elles voyageront en Europe. Elles voyageront en Europe. Okay, so a little something I have written down at the bottom of that slide is just a friendly reminder, you know, when you're trying to get your pronunciation right, you just need to speak it more for that to happen. And sometimes you might say, I don't have anyone to speak French with, you know, I'm here at my house alone. Perfect. If you're at home alone, you can walk around the house talking to yourself like a crazy person. You can even answer yourself, but do it all in French. And then you're a really smart, crazy person. Do it. Try it. It really works. Talk to yourself and don't tell me, oh, I'm afraid I'm going to pick up bad habits because I say things wrong. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. Think about little kids, toddlers, when they start speaking. How do they get to the point where they can make sentences that make sense? They keep on speaking. So you start out with the baby talk, me hungry. And then, you know, you end up changing and evolving because you're like, wait a minute, I don't think me hungry is right. How am I going to say that? So you look it up and you start saying it right. No excuses. Start talking to yourself. And when you're in the car by yourself, put on some French music and you can sing real loud. It's a lot of fun and it helps your pronunciation. It's true. Trust me. Okay, so let's go back now. Here's another exercise. Je vais être en France demain. Je vais être en France demain. I am going to be in France tomorrow. We change it to I will be in France tomorrow. Tu vas bientôt avoir 35 ans. Tu vas bientôt avoir 35 ans. Change it to you will soon be 35 years old. Il va faire une promenade. Il va faire une promenade. So he's going to go for a walk. He's going to take a walk. Change it to he will take a walk. Okay, here are your answers. Répétez après moi. Je serai en France demain. Je serai en France demain. Tu auras bientôt 35 ans. Tu auras bientôt 35 ans. Il fera une promenade. Il fera une promenade. That's pretty. Il fera une promenade. Okay, so, and when you say fera, make sure you don't say fera. It's fera. Okay? Allez, on continue. Just a few more. You feeling good about this? Okay, elle va aller voir ses copines. Elle va aller voir ses copines means she's going to go see her friends. And we want to say she will go see her friends. On va devoir travailler. On va devoir travailler. We are going to have to work. You want to say we will have to work. Nous allons pouvoir y aller. Nous allons pouvoir y aller. We are going to be able to go. And what's that E doing there? That Y. It means we are going to be able to go there. D'accord? You want to say we will be able to go there. Allez, on va regarder les réponses. Répétez après moi. Elle ira voir ses copines. Elle ira voir ses copines. On devra travailler. On devra travailler. Nous pourrons y aller. Nous pourrons y aller. D'accord. Allez, on continue. Vous allez vouloir manger. Vous allez vouloir manger. You are going to want to eat. You want to say you will want to eat. Okay? Ils vont savoir faire du ski. Ils vont savoir faire du ski. They are going to know how to ski. You want to say they will know how to ski. Elles vont venir nous voir. Elles vont venir nous voir. They are going to come see us. You want to say they will come see us. Allez, les réponses. Répétez après moi. Vous voudrez manger. Vous voudrez manger. Ils sauront faire du ski. Ils sauront faire du ski. Elles viendront nous voir. Elles viendront nous voir. Now look at that. Ils sauront faire du ski. Let me just come back and look at you for pronunciation. Ils sauront faire du ski. You have to watch my lips for this one. Ils sauront. In English, we don't have to stick our lips out like that. Ever. I don't think. But you do in French. Or else you're going to sound like you're speaking lazy French. Like, you know, if you don't stick your lips out, how are you going to get that O sound? And the AU, O, ils sauront, sounds like the O in O-N-T. Ils sauront. Almost exactly the same. You have that O-N-T, so you also get the little nasal sound from the N, but ils sauront. So I know I tend to get a little long-winded, but I have to tell you this. When I used to teach high school back in St. Louis, sometimes my kids just wouldn't do it, and they were saying things like for tu, they were saying like two, and it got on my nerves so much. So I used to tell them, I don't care if we're speaking French or English. For the whole 45 minutes we're together, we're going to stick out our lips and talk like this. And their French improved so much. We sounded silly in English, but it was fun. You try that too when you're walking around your house. Even if you're speaking English, this will help you, okay? And then you'll develop some new wrinkles around your mouth. All right, no, we're almost done, seriously. Je vais voir si je peux. Je vais voir si je peux. That means I'm going to see if I can. We don't know what exactly, just so that you understand the context of this sentence. Je vais voir si je peux. I'll see if I can. You have to have some background information to know what this person is going to see if they can do or not. But this is totally a sentence that you can use. If someone says, can you go out with us this weekend? Je vais voir si je peux. That means I'm going to see if I can. And you want to say, I will see if I can. Putting the verb voir in the futur simple. Il va falloir être organisé. Il va falloir être organisé. There's that verb falloir. Remember, it's the same in the present tense. Il faut, F-A-U-T. D'accord? But this is the future proche. Il va falloir. It is going to be necessary. You want to say, it will be necessary to be organized. D'accord? Il va pleuvoir demain. Il va pleuvoir demain. It is going to rain tomorrow. You want to say, it will rain tomorrow. D'accord? Let's look at the answers. Répétez après moi. Je verrai si je peux. Je verrai si je peux. Il faudra être organisé. Il faudra être organisé. Il pleuvra demain. Il pleuvra demain. D'accord? So you did it. Now you can see how you're going to have to practice and you're going to have to memorize, especially not only the endings, but also all of those irregular stems. So remember, you can look down in the video description and head over to my website where you can print out a PDF of all of those irregular stems. But there's lots of stuff that you can do to really master the futur simple. First of all, if you keep wondering, well, what lesson guide are you talking about? I would like to have that. Go on over to Patreon. You can download it for free if you're already a supporter of mine. If not, then you can find out how to do that. It's super easy. And you can also practice and master the future tense, the futur simple, if you sign up for my course. And you can find the details in the description below. And I'm very, very pleased with the way this course has turned out because you know me, I'm a teacher. I spent many years teaching in the classroom. And so if you've taken any of my courses, you know that you might kind of feel like you're back in a classroom. But that's not a bad thing, especially if you like your teacher. If you're still watching me at this point, I guess you do. Because in this Futur Simple course that I've just put together, you won't believe how many resources there are to help you. I mean, of course, I've got worksheets. I've also got practice cards. I'm huge on practice cards. You can use them online or you can print them out and cut them out and laminate them like I do. I've got crossword puzzles. I've got like 50 Sudoku puzzles. Is that how you say it? Sudoku? And what else do I have? Oh, I've got 10 mini dialogues, so you can see the future, and they're all written in the futur simple, each with a different theme, so you can really see the futur simple in context. I've got a Quizlet study set for you, and probably some other stuff. You just have to click on the link down in the description below so that you can see how you can go check it out. Okay, merci beaucoup. Dites-moi si vous avez des questions. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments or send me an email, and I'll see you soon with another lesson. Oh, and remember, mourir, the infinitive only has one R. Okay, merci, ciao.